What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the We Don't Make the Rules College Football Show. Wow, he's already done it. 5 seconds into the episode. But welcome back. We had a eventful weekend this weekend. A lot to get into, a lot to talk about. As you can see, a little change of scenery here. I am home. Unlike last time, we had some stuff going on in the background, some dark lighting. But now we're in a place where you can actually see me and hopefully hear me a little better. So yep, clap it up, clap it up. Nolan Payne, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm a little tired right now, but as being like the main guy of the show, I felt the need that I need to produce and maybe be here when I'm not really in the mood to give 100%, but just know I'm always giving 100%.
Wow. You see where the effort's at for half of our show here. But I'm here, so and I'm ready. So I guess that's all that matters, right?
Right.
Okay. Uh, we'll get into the games. We'll talk about a little bit of a problem, some controversy that's been a major topic for a while now based on college football playoff. And I think a lot of that kind of got validated this weekend. So we'll talk about that a little bit, which is the group of five problem. And then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we may introduce a new segment today, maybe not. I'm not sure yet. And then I guess we'll go through our brackets. I think we both, oh no, you picked Oklahoma. So,
Yep.
but whatever, we'll get into it. Getting into it right now, Alabama at Oklahoma, Alabama 34, Oklahoma 24. This was a an interesting game to say the least. I put it down as probably the most interesting Bama game I've ever watched in my life, and that says a lot because I watched a lot of Bama games. Um, I saw it as like almost three different games in one game. Like the first quarter was a game in itself, the second quarter was a game in itself, and then the whole second half was a game within itself. So, uh, honestly, for me, the biggest thing was like to be able to come back down 17 in that environment against that defense. Kind of astonishing to me. I definitely thought the game was probably going to be over there. Um, I mean, I guess because Oklahoma's offense probably is a little bit incapable of putting teams away, it gave some life there. But I think if you're Alabama, you leave that game with a lot of optimism because I think you saw a great display of what we kind of saw in the middle of the season at the end there. You know, that all three phases of the team is playing great. Um, and then last thing I have really just for an overall takeaway is that Oklahoma just didn't really execute when they needed to. And it was like a complete reversal of the last game of Oklahoma, Alabama, you know, in week whatever that was. It was the same thing. Like Oklahoma outgained Alabama, but then turnovers, costly plays on special teams is what got them in the end. So it was a full circle moment there.
Yeah, optimism. I like that word. First, I'll give my flowers to you for going 4 for 4. Really, you went 2 for 2 though, because the other two were pretty easy to
No.
pick.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so just props to you. Props to you for going
Thank you. Thank
four
you.
for four.
I
Everybody,
appreciate
please
it.
comment a clapping emoji in the comments. Um, with that being said, I like the word optimism there because I really do think you have a ton of momentum now going into that Indiana game. I really think that this Alabama team can beat Indiana. And I think that was just a great bounce back win, right? Getting down 17-0. I was like, there's no possible way they come back and beat them um, from down 17. And they proved me wrong, and they proved a lot of people wrong. I bet not a lot of people had hope in them. But that was a great game. Your defense stepped up when you needed it to, even though Mateer threw it well, they didn't really run it well. So they didn't let them dominate two forces of the game on offense, which was huge. And I think Ty Simpson played good. I think he played very good at least. So I think this Alabama team, I think they can put Indiana on their heels, especially if they get out to a nice start in that game and put Indiana just maybe what they haven't been all year, and that's just I guess like on their heels to start. I think if you Alabama gets off to a better start than what they did against Oklahoma, they can really make something happen. So great win for them. Shout out to them.
Shout out. I think just to add on to one thing that you said something about proving a lot of people wrong. I don't think there's a bigger loser of the weekend than Notre Dame fans. I just want to say that right now. There is not a bigger loser fan base right now than Notre Dame. I mean, both of those teams that you wanted out, they both went in there and did their thing and won. I've never seen a total collapse of a side of Twitter like I did from probably about 9 p.m. to 9:45 p.m. Um, on Friday night. You know, it's 17-0, and you're getting tweets from everyone up in South Bend. This team sucks. Oh, the committee got it wrong. And then you fast forward a little bit, and the game's tied at halftime. And there's just a lot of deleted tweets. A lot of people are deleting tweets now. Um, so that honestly made my night afterwards, after the game, of course. So yeah, Notre Dame. We're not supposed to be biased on the show, but I speak for Alabama and Miami fans here, so I'll throw it up. Suck it.
Yeah.
Uh, on a more serious though, takeaways for Alabama. I thought the ability to finally get pressure on the tier is honestly what made this game so dominant in the from past the first quarter. I think the first quarter there was no pressure on the tier, even kind of in the second quarter as well. There's no real pressure on the tier, and if you know anything about Alabama's defense, we play a lot of zone. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it has worked when you get pressure on the quarterback. Zone only really works if you're getting pressure on the quarterback. If you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, you're just sitting there and you're allowing guys to just go sit in a part of the zone. And if you're playing a good quarterback, I think Mateer's a good quarterback in the sense that he has the talent and he can make the right decision. So I think when you're giving him a clean pocket, no pressure, and he's facing zone, it made it so much easier for him to pick us apart. And that's exactly what happened in the first quarter. So I think the ability to get pressure saved Alabama in this game. Simpson, on the flip side, with a clean pocket, is elite. I mean, he makes throws that are day one of the draft type throws. But when he's not with a clean pocket, you know, we kind of see where he struggled this year, and you know, he makes some erratic throws, and it gets all over the place. Need to continue to get healthy is the final thing that I have. I mean, I thought that getting Cuevas back and Jam only played about I don't even know, maybe a quarter of the snaps on offense. But you know, getting him back in pass protection will be really key in the end game. So those are my only real takeaways for Alabama.
Yeah, I think the Cuevas's box score doesn't really highlight kind of how important he was, but I'll just say for Alabama, I think the toughness and resilience he showed in that game, especially on the coaching side, I think DeBoer did a really good job just not panicking, right? When you're down 17 nothing, a lot of teams on the road in that environment, they'll crumble. And this team didn't. And that is just as a fan of college football, you got to tip your hat. You got to tip your hat to a team that won't give up. You know, they get 17 points early and then they only score seven more. I get that there was missed field goals at the end, but just shout out to Bama for doing that. And then for OU, I think that's just an all-time choke job, man. I mean, that's something that can't happen, right? Up 17 early, you got to find a way to just when you're when you're on a team's throat, you got to kill them. And they just let Alabama keep breathing for air. And finally, they were standing up tall. Uh, didn't like that out of their team. Didn't expect that, especially out of their defense. I know there was a pick six, but still, if you were gonna tell me Oklahoma was up 17 nothing with that defense they had, I would have been flabbergasted. New word. Um,
Oh,
so I was disappointed is not the right word, but I was kind of surprised what I saw from this Oklahoma team, especially in the second half.
no, definitely. I've really the same thing. I just went brutal. Like this is the second time you've lost a college football playoff game being up 17 points. That's a horrible stat to have.
Go
Um,
dogs.
yeah. So but again, I said this earlier. I thought Mateer played great in the first half, other than obviously the interception. But he was playing lights out. He was picking apart the defense. He was making the right throws. You know, he had a couple drops, nice water. Um, you know, I thought the game started going downhill when Alabama kind of started to out physical you. on the offensive side of the ball. Like that's something that's unacceptable from the defense. You know, if your offense, especially Oklahoma, if your offense gives you 17 points in that game, you better be playing your tails off because the offense is playing their tails off on the other side of the ball. And that's something we haven't seen from them all year. And they're kind of saving your I keep hinting at this word. I'm
Yeah,
not to
I
say
can.
it. So
Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. So that's just unacceptable. I That's all I really got for Oklahoma. I mean, your season's over. I don't have a lot of takeaways. I don't think that this is like a devastating game. I mean, you went from what was it? They were like 6-6 last year to they're 10-3 this year. I mean, that's a
Good improvement.
pretty
Yeah,
good. Yeah. So maybe maybe they get back here again next year. If not, they'll certainly be a good team. So um, you know, not a whole lot to be completely devastated about here. It's not like your only chance.
no doubt. No doubt. Miami and A&M at A&M. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Uh, yo, we're throwing it
Oh
up around here,
man.
man. Before I get into this game, Mountain Valley Water, please sponsor me.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. What if we got
I
a
am.
sponsor?
If we, yeah, don't just sponsor me. Please sponsor the show.
Sponsor the show.
Um, yeah, and anybody who likes this video, sponsor them too. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's get into this game. Yo, I mean, me and Luke both got this one right. Didn't see too many people picking Miami. I saw a few, but not a whole lot. Do you remember this game when I told you that A&M let four teams rush for 200?
That's exactly right. I have it in my notes, but I have it saying good stat no.
Miami did not rush for 200, but they got close.
Oh,
Fletcher,
definitely.
172 yards on the ground. Um, I feel like if you watch these first two games, maybe not. More definitely in this game, the team who ran the ball better won the game. I mean, it was a low scoring game.
Mm.
A&M did not really get the ball going on the ground. But all in all, A&M, or sorry, Miami should have won this game by even more than what they did. Shout out their kicker. A&M kicker, Zirkle, shout out to him too. He missed a nice short one. But yeah, Miami, they acted like they won the Natty, but kudos to them for going in to Kyle Field and getting a win. I know a lot of Canes fans who are happy. I think Carson Beck did not did not do
No, yeah.
insane.
He's got to be
Didn't
happy. He did nothing and they won the game. So,
Yeah. However, he didn't have to. So shout
yeah,
out to him for
you're
not
right.
doing what he didn't have to do. So yeah, I'll let you take it on this one.
Um, I put again. I kind of expected. I said earlier in the week that the defense is going to show up. Obviously, not in this manner. Obviously, with 13 total points scored, but I said Miami's defense is going to show up in this game, and they certainly did. You know, Bain and Mesidor are a problem. And I thought A&M's offensive line would have held up a little bit better, but it seemed like Reed got pressure on him pretty often. But the counter to that was I also mentioned Marcel Reed, being able to run the ball with using his legs, and he did that in the first quarter. And I thought that that might be a problem for them. I keep seeing you throw it to you, and it's like I don't
Sorry,
know how I
sorry.
feel about it. Um, but he did use his legs on that first drive, and I thought, like this could be a problem because he's kind of getting these first downs
Yeah.
himself.
It was all those third downs early on.
Yep, and
Yeah.
no one was staying in their rushing lane, so it looked like it could have been an A&M kind of game, and then they kind of hunkered down there. Again, Marcel Reed with pressure on him makes bad decisions. I think the play at the end of the game wasn't even under pressure, just a bad throw.
Yeah, that was bad.
You can't force that on third down. I mean, at least live the fight to the last play, then throw something like that. But like, oh man, well, kind of a disappointing ending. I thought like I wanted to see something crazy. Not that, not a terrible throw, but I literally said before that drive started, I said he's gonna throw a game losing pick, and he did. Um,
Shout out to you, bro.
uh, I wouldn't be too optimistic. I think to your point that you said Miami celebrate like it's a Super Bowl. I think they know that what's about to come on New Year's Eve in Dallas. because I wouldn't be very optimistic about going to play Ohio State, especially after the offensive performance. But who knows? Maybe you get the same type of game as this one, and you can just win a game 13-10, kind of like Indiana just did against Ohio State. So maybe you can figure that out. But no, I interesting game, pretty good game. I thought it was a fun game to watch. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, this game sucks. These two teams suck." But those are just like the TikTok brain people who want to see scores like 50-52 or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right. I'll say takeaway for Miami. Carson Beck, you're gonna have to play better in the next one because Ohio State's run defense is a lot better
hmm.
than Texas A&M. So you can't throw for 103 yards and have -6 yards. So rushing. That can't happen. You're gonna have to throw the ball better, get Tony, get those good wide receivers in there. And then for A&M, man, that's a heartbreaker.
Mm.
Losing in that atmosphere, I get it was a day game, but I don't care. The place was filled. You got to find a way to win that game. Only 3 points. You were about to score seven until Reed fumbled the bag. So disappointing, very disappointing in a game where I think you definitely can look back and say, damn, we should have won that game.
Yeah, I for Miami, I kind of went through everything already. I said Bane and Mesidor elite. Fletcher single-handedly kind of won them this game. Like he ran the ball all day. It wasn't just like the last two drives or whatever. Like he was running the ball all over them kind of all day, getting six or oh man,
Whoa.
oh
Wait.
man.
Whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
didn't even mean to
whoa,
say. Oh,
whoa.
all right. I'll just finish it. 6 or 7 yards about every single run. So he was great. I think the O line looked good for the most part of this game, which was honestly surprising to me. I was impressed with them. And then again, Beck has to find a groove in Dallas, otherwise it might get ugly. For A&M, I can't think of a worse way to end a great season. Like you go 11-0, and then you lose to your rival, and then you lose a home playoff game. So not I don't that to me is just A&M fashion though. So but again, I kind of like I feel like we've mentioned this so many times on the show, and we've only been doing it for I don't even know how many weeks, but I kept mentioning how easy their SEC schedule was, and I think that kind of showed here.
Yeah, it
Like
caught up. Yeah.
they like they played a great defense. Miami has a great defense, and the offense just was radio silent. So I can't say that this was a huge shock to me or to really anybody in the country that's really been following A&M. Like I know people saw that they were undefeated up until whatever it was in November, and they're like, "Oh, this team must be really good," but it's like, well, they're not really playing anybody that great.
Hmm.
So I don't know. That's all I got for you, A&M. You disappointing season.
All right. Snooze fest out here in
Oh
Oxford.
man,
I do
yeah.
not have a lot to say about this game at all. I texted Luke actually in the first half and I was like, "How's it going?" Because
Oh,
I figured he was watching it and I had better things to do with my time than
definitely.
watch this game. Did watch some of the second half by the time it was already over, just looking to see what Georgia's going to have to do. Georgia's going to play. We all know Georgia have already played Ole Miss, but still. Um, just overall thoughts. I'm gonna, I'm just gonna say like Tulane, you did exactly what I told you not to do. Do they not watch the show?
No, that's what I'm saying. Are they not watching? We gave you
Uh,
we gave you what you were supposed to do, Summerall, and you didn't listen. So
uh,
yeah.
I don't understand that. Why, or why are you not watching the show? But forget the show. W- How the beginning of the game are you just letting them go right down the field twice? Like I get their offense is very good. Don't get me wrong, but there was not even a fight on
Mm-mm.
those drives. It didn't even look like they wanted to be there.
Mm-mm.
So for that, I'm pissed. Um, and then I'm just gonna give some thoughts on them takeaways already.
Yeah.
Tulane, Has Tulane hired a new coach or no?
Um, have they? I think they just promoted one of their coordinators, but
All right.
I don't know if that's permanent, but yeah.
Good for him. If that is, hopefully they picked the right guy because Summerall was excellent there. And then takeaways for Ole Miss. Um, Kirby Smart's had by the time the game starts, he'll have well over 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks of study he's going to have done on you. I bet he never even looked at Tulane. So for him to have this much time up on you is a little concerning. And I believe 100% he's going to play in that game, but his health is a big concern just because of how good he is. Lacey, running back. You need him. I mean, if you're going to beat Georgia, he's going to play a huge part in it. So you want him to be as good as possible by that game.
Yeah. I'll say this. You already kind of hit on it. They just looked like uncompetitive, just non-competitive from the jump. I mean, like the first, I don't know if you actually saw the first two drives, but especially the
Yeah,
first
I watched
drive.
him.
The first drive was pathetic.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
absolutely pathetic. I mean, it was like I was watching an FCS game, like Alabama versus Eastern Illinois earlier in the year. And it was like, and
Because
hell,
that's what
Eastern
it
Illinois
is.
got some stops there. Um,
Nick
but
Saban said it perfectly. It's like a AAA team playing in the World Series. It is literally
I
what it's like.
I think yeah, there was some controversy with that thing. We'll get into that actually in a little bit based on the group of five thing. But besides the point, I mean, the defense was horrendous. I didn't realize their defense was that bad, but they are. Their offense wasn't horrible, but they weren't good either. So it's like I don't. It was just they made
They
it
threw
so
for
easy on
300
Ole Miss.
yards.
Yeah, but again with stuff like that, like James Madison had 500 yards. What is going on over there?
Sorry. Sorry, continue.
All right. Yeah. So it's just pretty much over from the jump. A little disappointing. I gave them a lot more credit on the show last week than I guess anyone else would, and I look like a clown now. So whatever. Ole Miss, I guess, just also played really well, just on both sides of the ball. Like you got to give credit to Ole Miss too. They played really good. Uh, Takeaways for Tulane, the defense again just got pushed around, clearly showed um, just the difference in physicality between the two teams. And then Ole Miss offense looked great again. If they play like they did on Saturday, I could see like a similar kind of game earlier in the season against Georgia. You know, one of those games where the offense is just kind of going back and forth, trading blows. Because I think that Ole Miss offense is pretty damn talented, and they it could get scary for Georgia and New Orleans. So I don't know.
Easy now.
I would be careful. They might play with a chip on
Uh,
their shoulder.
yeah, no, I don't think it's the most comfortable game. It's hard to beat a team twice, but I think if there's one guy to have him prepared, it'll be Kirby.
You're,
So,
you're right.
uh, yeah,
Uh,
not too worried about it, but definitely a good team. All right, next game.
yeah, we I don't even. James Madison
Hey,
out of
they
Oregon.
battled back. Shout out to them.
I'll talk about that. James Madison 34, Oregon 51. First sentence in my analysis: score is incredibly misleading. It was 48-13 with 22 minutes of game time left, ladies and gentlemen. 48-13. Uh, now to Nolan's point, they did score 21 points throughout the rest of the game. But I'm not necessarily shocked by that because JMU was moving the ball in the first half. Like their offense was moving the ball, they just weren't coming up with points, which obviously killed them dead in the water right there. But they were moving the ball, so I guess credit to them in that sense. But again, kind of like the Tulane game, just the difference in physicality between the two teams is so glaring and so obvious and so almost disrespectful to the audience of college football to sit there and say that this is a playoff game. Because it's not. It really isn't. It's like people complain about the SEC playing like a cupcake before Rivals Week by when everyone else up in the Big Ten gets to play like mighty Purdue and Rutgers. So this is kind of the same level, it's like Oregon and Ole Miss just got to play a cupcake before they play their rivalry week in their big game. I don't now this it's no disrespect to James Madison. They had a great year. They just should not have been on the same field as Oregon last night, or not last night, whatever day it is. Um, and I think that it's obviously become a problem. I think there will be changes made soon, but I don't think that it needs to come at the expense of bashing James Madison or Tulane because they both had great seasons respectively in their own sphere because they're group of five teams. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean that's all I really have for them.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean like a quick takeaway, I guess. Weak strength of schedule showed for JMU. And then takeaway for Oregon, offense looks good. They also need to continue to get healthy as well. And I think again, I think they can definitely make a run in the college football playoffs. So I don't know. Oregon look good. I mean, aside from the defense in the final, whatever minutes that was, but Oregon's a scary team. So that I think it'll be a good game against Texas Tech. So I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Oregon is a very good team. I did not like them at the beginning of the year, but I think they made me snap out of that. I think they're a very talented team and a team that can make a run at it. I know you already predicted that, so I would like to agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we lead right into our this is probably going to be the meat of the episode just because we kind of flew through the end there. But we have a problem in the college football playoff. And it's a group of five problem, but I wouldn't even say it's necessarily just that. I think I have here what is the actual problem and how do we fix it? The actual problem is the fact that we're making room for them. It's not that I'm not saying group of five needs to be banned from the college football playoff. That's not at all what I'm saying. I think like people that are making that take that no group of five should ever be in the playoffs. That doesn't make sense because last year Boise State was I mean technically they're top four seed because of the conference championship, whatever, but they were inside the top 12 regardless, right? So Boise State deserved to be there, right? So that's fine with me. What the problem is that we're taking these two teams who weren't even really inside the top 20. I mean, I think Tulane got to like 18 or 19 in the final rankings, whatever. But we're bringing them in and having them jump 10 spots to get above two teams that deserve to be in there. And then we get these slop of games that we throw on TNT that TNT should sue college football playoff for. Um, and we're left with, we're turning on NFL games on Saturday night instead. So
Yeah.
I think just the simple fix is to just take the 12 best teams. I don't think it needs to be I've heard a lot of talks about like we'll have group of five play their own championship game, which is like you can do that, but I think that also does a disservice to really good group of five teams over the years. Like that Cincinnati team
Yes.
back in 2021,
21.
yeah, they were a damn good team. Now, obviously, they played Alabama and they did lose by like three scores, but it
They
wasn't
deserve
that's
to be there.
they did deserve to be there, and that team probably would have beaten another top ranked. Like if they played the number six team in the country, they would probably would have won that game. That Cincinnati team is really good. They just happened to play a really good Alabama team. So again, it's not a let's ban the group of five for the college football playoff. It's a why are we getting cute? Let's just take the top 12 teams. And if a group of five team works their way in there, like Boise State did last year or Cincinnati did a few years ago, whatever, then let them play. So
Right.
it to me, it's just a strength of schedule problem. And yeah.
I agree. I don't think you could have said it any better. Um, I this is just piggybacking basically, but I totally agree. It's not that we want the group of five totally out of it because that's not what we're saying. We just want the 12 best teams, right? If BYU and Notre Dame, however, you can throw whatever team you want in those last two slots that were up there, make any claim. If you can put those games, put those teams in there, you never know how these are going to turn out. Like I don't think like you should basically be getting a bye for being the sixth seed or being the fifth seed. Like I think that's ridiculous. You didn't earn
Yeah,
the top four seed. You didn't earn a bye. So there should be no reason that you get to play a cupcake team, right?
I agree.
The strength of schedule is 100% correct because we saw JMU this year. They did move the ball better in this game. I'll give them that. But like you look at their season as a whole against Power Five opponents, and it was not good. It wasn't even close to what they played in their conference play or anything. I think they definitely need to change this, and they need to change it now for next
Yep.
season to have it be the 12 best teams because those teams on the outside got robbed for their bids to be teams that didn't even give a competitive game or didn't even have a chance against Ole Miss and Oregon.
Yeah, I agree. I think kind of play devil's advocate to the point that like of people that want a group of five champion, them just separate. I think in this era of college football with the NIL and everything, you're not going to get a team in the group of five that is really that great talent wise. It's just
I
not going to
agree.
happen at this point. Like in the past, there's obviously been group of five teams with great talent on their teams, and it has kind of stacked up. But now you're gonna get maybe one or two players that go on to play in the NFL from a group of five team, whereas they're playing teams that are gonna send, damn near half their roster just this year in the draft. So it's
Right.
like it is, we talked about it earlier. You said something about Saban's comment earlier, like he got a lot of criticism for that earlier, but
It's the truth.
it is the truth. They're not playing the same game.
I,
I
I
mean,
agree.
I mean they're not. No way. There's no way you shape it. And all the people that want to say, "Oh, well, they are playing the same game," and then they use like these random games of upsets. It's like yes, like that happens, but that is not the argument that we're having. The
Right.
argument is that they shouldn't be jumping into the playoff over teams that deserve to be there. That Notre Dame team, as much as I've been, clowning on them or whatever, Notre Dame would have beat Tulane or James Madison by three scores just as bad as
100%.
anyone else would have. And Notre Dame definitely would have made it closer with Oregon or um Ole Miss. Hell, they may have even won the game.
Yeah.
So the point is, we shouldn't be kicking these teams out for teams that don't deserve to be in. Because James Madison, to your point about the strength schedule, James Madison had like the 123rd ranked like strength of schedule this year. I mean, that's
Yeah.
horrible. Like that's
Yeah.
not even that's like bad from a group of five standpoint. Like, so again, this is not to bash on James Madison or Tulane in their seasons. Like they had great seasons. It's just a flaw in the system right now. And I think a lot of people um claim that they support the group of five or whatever, and they support all that. But then they also are like, oh well, we should expand the playoff more so we can include them. It's like, no, we don't.
No.
We don't need that. We don't need it.
No, not at
So
all.
again,
No more expansion.
no more expand. I would honestly be okay with going right back to 4 or 8. Like I think 8 is a good number.
I like
12
eight
is
too.
fine. 12, I can live with it. I think 8 is a great number.
No more
4
than
is even a
12.
great number. I agree. 12 is we're at our max.
Yep. Uh,
Um, so I
nice.
mean, what can we do? I do have some tweets. I don't know if you want to do this now. We can wait and we could both save them for next week, or we could just go. I mean, if we just recapped our
If
predictions,
you
it'd be like a
had,
couple minutes.
if we did what?
If we just recapped our prediction, I mean, we already kind of did. I mean, I went 4 for 4, really 2 for 2.
Yeah.
And then you picked Oklahoma. Oh, I do have one thing actually on
Okay.
that thing that you sent me, the tournament app,
Oh yeah.
whatever. It says I picked A&M, and I did not pick A&M. So I don't know how we're gonna whatever.
Wow, you picked A&M, bro.
I did not pick A&M. I don't know how that. I checked it the other day, or I checked it today actually because I was going through my bowl picks to look at where I was in terms of like my family pool, and I saw that me and you were tied, and I was like, did he pick Bama last second? And you didn't, and I saw that I picked A&M. Like I didn't pick A&M. So whatever. Um, so I'm gonna sue the app if this comes back to haunt me, but we'll see. Um, I don't know. Do you want to
I
do a
don't
tweet?
I don't have any tweets, but if you have something, let's do it. I can look maybe. I mean, we have a minute left in the Zoom.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
All right, wait, hold
Great.
on. Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. So we it dawned on me today because I was thinking, we need something else for the show tonight. We're kind of shorthanded. Um, so I'm thinking about introducing a new segment because me and Nolan Payne has introduced me to or reintroduced me back to the platform of Twitter or X. And we often see a lot of idiots on the platform. And I think one of my favorite pastimes is to find them and send some of them to Nolan. Um, so that's what we're gonna do today. We have a couple tweets each of us, or I have like three, and I think Nolan has one really great one. And we're just gonna wrap up with this, just a lighthearted ending here, and we'll get back to our previews next week after the holiday of Christmas. So
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. But we'll save that for the end. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first, and then um you can just do all of yours.
Yeah.
So mine, this was funny. We were just talking about. I was like, dude, there's this guy who works for On3 who tweets like the most ridiculous things, and Luke goes Brett McMurphy, and I'm like, yep, that's him. And it led me to this tweet that I saw the other day, and reading this, I was in the car, and I was just like, is he being serious? Is he kidding? I was just kind of flabbergasted times two. Uh,
Two of them, man.
flabbergasted,
Wow.
flabbergasted by this tweet. Brett McMurphy at 3:39 on December 20th said the SEC has lost both first round college football playoff games. Ole Miss tries to stop the streak versus Tulane. Brett, did you know that two SEC teams played each other? So one had to lose.
Hmm.
I don't I don't think
I
you
don't know if
realize that
I don't know if he knows
one had to go
Alabama's in the
down.
SEC.
Yeah, I I looked at that tweet, was very confused, and I thought it was actually hilarious because this guy is either a total idiot or he was making a joke. And if it was a joke, I thought it was hilarious. So shout out to Brett McMurphy.
Shout out. Um, I have a great guy here. And to paint the picture for this guy is I'm on Bama's side of Twitter, right? So I stumble upon this guy quite often because some people from the fan base will quote tweet him because he is just probably the biggest Bama hater I've seen on the platform that isn't even a part of like the South. Like, so when I say that, they're not a fan of any SEC team, they're not a fan of any rival. Like, there's no bad blood, right? This guy goes by the name of Tim Brando. Many may know him as a Fox Sports announcer. So he tweeted this out after the Alabama game where he claims he didn't watch the game, which I believe him because he probably doesn't watch any games. Here we go. I got back to my room last night and caught the end of the at OU football and at Alabama football. And while I have to admire the efforts of the Tide in hanging tough and putting together a miraculous comeback, it's not time to say the college football playoff got it right. Yeah, let's see OU dropped a touchdown pass, would have made it 24-7. Then the punter botched a snap blocked punt. So it's 17-10 instead. And the horrible pick six from Mateer? Nah, not going to go there. Sorry. Hell of a job by Simpson late in the tie D that used momentum they gained to pressure OU and physically take over the game. However, this Tide team won't be able to handle Indiana football. That's better on both sides of the line of scrimmage at Rose Bowl game. Sorry, Bammers, it's not happening. And no, the committee didn't suddenly get it right.
Wow. Brando.
Timmy, Timmy boy, I think he's a Notre Dame fan. I actually don't know. I don't think he's allowed to affiliate with the team because he is just signed to Fox Sports. But um, he has been one of the more vocal people about the college football playoff committee getting it wrong. And he's also been one of the most vocal people about how Kalen DeBoer is going to leave Alabama. So I think he just has a lot of hate in his heart for Alabama. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because of the couple of, beatings Alabama's given Notre Dame over the years. But yeah, he is just pure blood hater. Um, and then I'll go one more. This one is kind of just a troll account. I was gonna throw Danny Kanell under the bus here, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna go with this is the account name at overrated underscore SEC, and the account name is exposing SEC bias. So we already know what we're getting into here.
Yep.
I hope tonight is the most miserable experience in the history of Alabama football. I hope they die a slow and painful death. I hope they look so incompetent that the committee is forced to apologize and none of the members are welcome back again. Other than that, good luck to the Tide. And then, excuse me, Brian B. Dot, BrianB.com responds, I'm with you, but regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, which I won't be watching, Alabama does not deserve to be in the college football playoff. This year's playoff is an illegitimate joke.
Wow.
I can almost guarantee you that BrianB.com right there was tuned into the game. It was
Yeah,
definitely on his TV. Uh,
definitely.
so, so all those people that were claiming they're going to boycott the playoffs, come on,
You did it.
don't you didn't? No, you didn't. You sat there and you watched the game, and you hated every single second of it. And that is what made my night on Friday night and even Saturday because I rooted for Miami for the first time in a long time the other night or the other day. So shout out to the Canes for getting it done. I'll throw it up
Yep.
one
Throw it
time.
up.
One time. All right. We'll have some more next week, maybe. Hopefully some better ones because this was kind of just off the dome. But um, yeah, that's it. Kind of a shorter episode today, but no one's tired, so he's got to get to
And
bed.
not only that, I feel like there was kind of less to talk about.
Yeah.
Just games are next week. We'll definitely get into those next week.
Yep.
So we'll have a good next week will be a loaded episode, maybe special guest, maybe we'll bring in somebody. I got about
Oh,
30 people waiting to be on.
wow.
I'm just like, guys, there's a line.
Yeah, there
So
is a queue to get on the
yes.
show here. So yeah. Speaking of next week, I will be at the Rose Bowl game, so we're gonna have to get that episode out to you guys before Wednesday. Just when I'm leaving. So, but fun fact, I come with a fun fact about games that I travel and don't travel to. Fun fact: Alabama is 0-1 in games that I have attended at the Rose Bowl. So, hopefully, we snap that streak, but we'll see.
If they lose, you can't go to another one.
I can't go to Rose Bowl ever again. All right. Well, enjoy the holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We are a couple days out now. What do you want for Christmas this year, Nolan?
I would like a Georgia football national championship. If that happens, my Christmas, my New Year, everything would be made. Um, I couldn't think of a better scenario than, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. I want Georgia to beat Ole Miss. I want Miami to beat Ohio State, and I want the Carson Beck versus Georgia matchup, and I want them to absolutely just ugh, destroy
Wow.
Miami.
Wow.
And then I want Georgia. I want Georgia to play. It would make me very happy if Georgia played Alabama in that finale and beat them like they just did. But yeah, that would be the matchup I would really look for. Georgia and Bama. That was what I would like to see at the end. But the real main game is Georgia and Miami. So then all these Canes fans can just go to sleep. Their season's over, and we beat
Mhm.
Carson back.
I agree.
What do you want for Christmas?
I want the Miami program to be defunded.
Why is that?
It's an ongoing off the air joke.
Oh, okay.
What I want for Christmas. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about.
Uh, so what do I want? I want an Alabama national championship, but obviously neither of us can have both of our presents. So I think we can agree we want an Alabama Georgia national championship matchup for Christmas. That's what we want for
Yeah.
Christmas. We also want a couple boom mics, a better camera, and
Oh, I might be
maybe
getting a mic, everybody. So shout out to
really
yes. Shout out to
wow.
Santa. But it's not Santa.
Shout out to
Shout out to Ian
Santa.
Vertucci for maybe giving me a mic. We're gonna see.
Oh wow. I also want a Carter Ritchie cardboard cutout.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, we got to build a statue for him. Another thing that I would like for Christmas is a Mike Tomlin masterclass in the playoffs. In the playoffs.
Wow. I don't think that's
Um,
possible.
yeah, it may be cold when I ask for that. So we'll we'll see. I think they like being 9-8. So
Yeah, they
I think
do.
they plan on losing the next two.
Yep. That's the goal. That's the plan.
Yep. Yep.
All right, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And we will see you guys next week. Have a great one.
Later.